Don't believe me when I tell you there are no mistakes. You can take anything, do anything, anyway, anywhere, anyhow, and somehow you're going to make it turn into something somebody is going to like. Y'all just need to believe in yourselves. This is 20 gauge antique brass or vintage bronze, and just an assortment of 6mm, 8mm, and some larger flat pieces, beads, holes drilled. We're just going to make each piece different and invent a new kind of bracelet that I haven't even drawn it on paper. I just thought, hey, why not? So let's pick one random. Yeah. This cute little, what is that? Red tiger's eye. 8mm. Let's just get ourselves about 8 inches. Make something. Let's just make something. Ooh, slippery little guy. I'm just gonna do these loops on each side, like that. See? Now that I can roll that loop tighter, right? I'm gonna do whatever I feel like doing. I'm just gonna have fun. This is gonna be no stress, absolutely no stress bracelet. I don't even know if it's a bracelet. I'm just making links. Just having some fun. You might have seen this pattern on a few other things. I'm just kind of loosely, you know, it's not completely touching the stones, just kind of floating. But I like this. This is fun. I'm going to do a little flower here. Why? Because that's not what you thought I was going to do. I'm just having fun. I'm just do a little teeny tiny petals. There we go. Voila. Just flatten them a little bit. And then I'm just going to bring this around to the front and tuck it right in there. So the only rule is you want to tuck in them sharp ends. Tuck in the sharp ends and make sure your pieces are not going to be uber flimsy. Maybe a little bit. They don't have to be super strong, because bracelets don't get as much of a beating as some other, you know, like necklaces get more of a beating, believe it. Rings have to maintain their shape or you're in trouble. So I got my little flower on this side, cute little flower, and this side I'm just going to end it, or maybe I'll do a swirl. I don't even know. Yeah, I started to scarf it, now I'm going to do a swirl. Nah, I'm just going to tuck it in. Do a swirl on the next one. There's my first piece of fun. What are we going to do next? Let's take this little 8mm Jasper type disc. Let's have fun with that. Woo! Unfocused cameras are fun. Sort of not. Put that through there. What do we do with a flat piece? We give it a swirl. Why not? We always do that. That's what we do. That's what I proclaimed happens. Now let's get our loops out of the way. You can put your loops in later, but I like to get them out of the way. Then I don't have to think about them. I can just think about having fun. And woo! Yay! I'm gonna cross these guys right here. Whoa, what is happening? I don't know what's happening. I'm making this up as I go, so you guys can watch me make it up. What is that? I don't know what that is. I'm gonna do it one more time and then just, whoops, and just make it a loop or something. See my tribal markings? I was blessed by the local chameleon today. He gave me the local chameleon tribal blessings of the green and orange. That was his own work. Let's just loop this off and end it. I would say swirl, but it's not going to be barely a swirl. It's so little left. But it's going to be a sharp end that's tucked, and that's all that matters. Now this guy, we're left with this big guy. What do we didn't do here? I don't know. Let's come around here. And we'll come around here. You know what? That's it. I'm just going to scarf him in here. This part is a tiny bit flimsy. It's fine, but I want to have more fun with it. Plus, that's moving, kind of. So let's just twist this guy. Let's fold him in half. Make him even weirder. Is that weird enough? Nah, let's make it a little weirder. Let's give this a crimp right here. There we go. Now it's Mondo Bizarro. Just how I like it. What is that? That is the weirdest piece ever, y'all. Let's make some more. One thing I can tell you, if you haven't seen the 17 million other videos, is just bring the bead to the middle, just crimp it and crimp it, and then bending the loop backwards from the crimp, make your loop like that, backwards from the way you crimped it. So I crimped it this way, and then I'm going to fold it backwards to make my loop. And you can do it with your fingers, you could do it with your round nose pliers. Probably should do it with the round nose in the beginning, because it just makes it smoother until you get used to doing it just with your fingers. But see how it's moving up and down a little bit? To make it tighter, you just roll it. Now, these are nice and cute, tiny little loops. I'm actually going to make them a little bigger. I'm going to pull them out a little bit because I'm using these loops to anchor. So basically, I'm just bringing this one around and bringing this one around and making a pattern, and then I'm ending it mostly by wrapping it around each of the loops and then tucking the sharp end in somewhere. But it doesn't have to be that. I could end it with a swirl, you know, whatever. But as you just play with these, you see these patterns just develop. Like, I'm just seeing, like, right here, let's throw a loop right out there like that. Like, just floating in the air. It's okay to float if you're gonna anchor it pretty soon. So like, it's a floating loop. Let's do the same thing over here, make it symmetrical. Floating loop. So what do we do? Where do we anchor them? Well, you could bring it all the way back to the other side and anchor it. That would be really cool to bring these all the way across. Do I have enough wire to do that? Let's try that. I wasn't even what I was planning. So I'm gonna bring this around to anchor it right there, and that's going to be my new this is going to be my new loop. Now I'm going to bring this one, barely enough wire. We can kind of squish everything a little bit and get it. Now you see that one's barely going to make it over there, and I want room to wrap it and be comfortable. Since I'm not comfortable, I'm just going to bring it around through here, do something different. So it's not going to be symmetrical. This side is going to be different. So I'm going to, sorry, I'm like bouncing in and out of the camera. Let me pull back a little bit. I'm going to again tuck in that sharp end. I don't really have enough room to tuck it the right way, so I'm going to cut it, tuck it right there. There we go. It's not scratching at all. What do I do with this? This is kind of flimsy now. I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to make this loop really big. I'm going to twist it several times to make it strong. And now it's not exactly round. Gonna round it out. Better. Is that strong? Yeah, that's strong enough for my purposes for making this bracelet. I'm gonna strengthen it up a little bit by. Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna bring him around and scarf him. I didn't think he had room, but now I think he does. Gotta be careful, he's tucked tight because there's not like a little crevice to shove him in. Just kind of muscle and squeeze till he makes his own crevice. Yeah, that's pretty tight, never to come out. All right, there we have our little satellite orbiting the Earth. And let's make a bunch more. Good, I did right here. I said, you know what, I'll just knock out 2 more. You don't have to watch, but this is getting so fun. I had to pull back and then put him back to get these to weave around each other. So see what happens if I can get this through here to scarf. Yeah, I think it's happening. It's a tight situation. I got to push and pull to get it. There's that other big loop in the way. So he keeps wanting to come around the outside and I want it to get inside. So, and then I got to pull out and readjust and hope it doesn't lose any critical shape. Now I'm doing the same thing on this side over here. Need this one to come in here. Whoops. Oh, I figured out an easier way to do it. Okay. Instead of having to, I'm just going to slide under the loop like that and pull it a little tighter. Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this. It's a little bit messy, but nobody on Earth is going to be looking at that messy part. They're just going to see these wild loops, which is going to be super awesome. Sorry, I'm going off camera. I'm trying to get a close-up so you can see, but then I end up going off camera. That is a little flimsy. I am going to, the other one I just tucked, but this one I'm going to wrap a little more. Hoping it'll strengthen up a little something here or there. I'll put it right through there. This is like constantly experimenting. Just seeing what can you do? Where can you put the wire and how will that look? And the most amazing thing is you might come up with something that no one else has. Maybe they did something similar, but not quite the way you did. That's the fun. It's one of the fun parts. All right. Now it's a little bit, it's not quite as elegant. It's a little bit shaped like butterfly wings, but still super awesome. Yeah, this is a little too flimsy for me. So watch this. I'm going to take this right here. Hopefully I don't ruin the whole thing. And twist. Yep, looks like I ruined the whole thing. It went from elegance to like barbed wire. And guess what? I don't care. I love it. And do it on the other side too. There we go. You might say it looks a little bit mangled now, but I think it looks really cute. I like it. I even like that it's a little bit of a curve. It's not like straight. Okay. Let's make the rest. The only other thing is to make sure they lay flat, because you want them to lay flat on the wrist. So, you know, unless you want them to just spin around and roll and you don't care. Like, after you're done making it, just kind of play with it, make sure it lays flat. Doesn't have pieces just sticking way out. Now here's the fun part. How do we arrange these? I don't want them to be in a straight line like would be easy. I want this to be multi-tiered, but a little bit irregular too. So let's just see how is this going to work? What are we going to do? I don't even know. Oh, I'm missing one over here. And that breaks it up nicely. Move that one over there. Get the colors kind of mixed up nicely. I'm just going to link them with jump rings randomly, like not in a straight line, just randomly, and then however they fall on the wrist, just let it be, right? Fun. Oof. You guys can probably, hopefully, show me a better way to do this. This was a little bit of a struggle. Every time I connected a new piece, they kept flipping around and getting all wonky and messed up, and I had to try to get them where they want. Maybe it's better to have them so they can just roll around and there's no front or back. But I finally got them. I think I'm going to add a few more jump rings here and there just to kind of strengthen the fact that I want it to lay like this, and I don't want each piece to be flipping all over the place. Yes, the more I add jump ring chains here and there, the more it seems to behave like one flat piece of skin. And even if I pick it up like this and do all kinds of wonky whatever, it just kind of falls back into the same pattern without me having to flip over 17 pieces and figure out which way they go. So I'm just going to add a few more little connections here and there, and I think we're done. Remember, to make a bracelet adjustable, try to make it the smallest amount it could go be 5 inches and then stretch out to about 8 or 9 inches. This is already 6 right here, so sorry super skinny people. You're going to have to clasp it somewhere tighter than the actual length of it, but that's okay. And I have a nice big clasp here, and I've got this cool chain. It's kind of fun, right? We'll just put, only need about 3 links on this side because we're already at like 6 inches. That's going to add 1.5 inches more. This clasp here is going to add another inch, and we should be good.